That one time my son's girlfriend proved me completely wrong. I never thought anyone was good enough for my son Noah. He was driven, pre-law, straight-A student, always dressed to impress. So when he brought home Chloe, I was appalled. She showed up in neon pink boots carrying a tiny dog and a designer purse. She said the word literally about 15 times in the first 5 minutes. I figured she was just some shallow, airheaded girl, totally coasting on her looks. For 6 long months, I gave her the absolute cold shoulder. I'd smile tight, nod, and quickly find an excuse to leave the room. But Chloe, she never stopped smiling. It was infuriating. Then, during Thanksgiving, Noah ran out to pick up his sister from the airport. I was left entirely alone in the living room with Chloe. The silence was deafening. I grabbed a magazine, pretending to read while she just sat there, nervously fidgeting with her ridiculous acrylic nails. Finally, she let out a long sigh, reached into her massive tote bag, and pulled out a dusty, unlabeled mason jar. "So," she said, looking absolutely terrified, "my grandpa makes this apple pie moonshine back in Tennessee. Want to do a shot?" I stared at her. I hadn't taken a shot of liquor in 25 years, but for some inexplicable reason, I said yes. We choked down the fiery liquid, coughing and wiping our eyes. Suddenly, she confessed that on their very first date, she tried to sound smart by quoting Shakespeare, but accidentally quoted the movie Legally Blonde instead. Noah had laughed so hard, he spilled his soup everywhere. I actually cracked a smile. Then I told her about the time I tried to cook a fancy French dinner for my husband and accidentally set the kitchen drapes on fire. One shot turned into 3. We started talking, really talking. I found out Chloe wasn't just some random internet girl. She owned a boutique marketing firm and managed a staff of 20 employees. She just liked wearing pink. When Noah finally walked in, 2 hours later, we were sitting on the hardwood floor, howling with laughter, singing Dolly Parton at the absolute top of our lungs. He looked like he'd seen a ghost. I looked at Chloe, wiped a tear from my eye, and realized she was exactly what my son needed.